I will rise now and go about the city in the streets, broadways I see him whom I soul love.
This is Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and this was my second home, I suppose, for a long time. I moved here to be near my boyfriend. There's an element of that old New York here still for me, as opposed to some parts of Manhattan, like the Lower East Side, and all of that seem to have been a bit homogenised. I think places become special when they're imbued with memories.
And like I was saying, what do you feel about Manhattan looking at it over there?
It's like the Emerald City, isn't it? Because it's so kind of graphic and like, it's all blue tinged and perfect looking, and here we are on the Brooklyn side.
Went over the sea, what did I find? 1,000 crystal towers, 100 emerald cities, and the hand of the watchman in the night sky points to my beloved, a knight in crystal armor.
Glass is all about just the fact that New York to me is like a city made of glass, and I was searching for my beloved in this crazy, transparent, strange place. It's sad coming back, in a way.
When two suns are shining, the battle becomes blinding. But we're light, 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 light.
Well, I think it's the contrast between the desert and the city is almost like two representations of me. For me to kind of connect that to landscapes makes sense. Particularly for this album, there's a duality. It's about a split. It's called Two Suns, and it's about like the concept of two planets and two mirrors and two opposites, and night and day and dark and light, and having to travel across the sea to see my loved one, you know, like constantly traveling and being in two countries and being two people, you know, in my public life and my personal life. And it's just, I think that for me it's easier to work with symbols and characters and visual kind of incarnations of how I'm feeling, to try and make sense of the kind of just what's happening internally. And I feel like in a totally different place now as a musician and kind of creatively and with my confidence. But I feel that the process has also been, the timing of it has unfolded as the timing of my personal relationships have been unfolding and things have been happening. So it's almost, I've been held back by having to work through this process. And you can't write the last song on the album until you've done that with that person, or, you know, said that to that person. And so it's very much been like a, is it art imitates life, or I don't know what that saying is, but it's almost like I've had to be more patient this time because I'm going with it, you know, and going with the pace of my life at the same time. That's much cooler and more fucked up. We like that.
We love that. Well done.
It's like John Cale sort of, wasn't it, at the end?
I like doing that.
So do you want to do harmonising notes?
Yeah. In fact, if you could just play it, so let's find a note together.
I got this particular group of people together for the Radiohead support tour that we just did. And I think my criteria generally with anyone I'm working with is people that can sort of turn their hand to anything but are amazing at all of those things, multi-instrumentalists. Kath and Caroline and Ben are all swapping about on keyboards and strings, flutes, phoner fiddles, marxophones, piano chords. So yeah, just having people that I can trust with my vision and being able to talk with them, and they play amazing things and I can direct it and say what I like. It's really important that there's a good vibe happening, and I do really appreciate them, and it's magic.
Calling, calling.
Sorry.
Calling, calling. It's driving me Mama was a heartbreak.
The concern about the album and how it will be received, I think, comes after the fact of writing. And when I'm in the studio, that doesn't really enter the studio. It's quite a sacred space, and I'm just trying to please myself in that environment. As far as like being clear on my vision, I don't know where that comes from. It's just always been there. The confidence, I think, comes from doing something and feeling that it's right and it resonates in a good place inside you, and you just feel like you don't really care what people think of it because it's making the right vibration. I don't know why that is or where my taste comes from. I just feel quite clear about it.
The rehearsals, I was really struggling with it, but I've got, I think I found an extra muscle in my arm.
Always useful.
I can say.
Took my